What's going on around table? My name is Excaliber596, and Pokemon is the shit. It's been my favorite video game series since I first pressed a button, and I've played every game since the beginning. And now that I have a YouTube channel for reviews and gameplay, I get to talk about it all at once. I'd like to review the Pokemon games, but everyone's either done it to death or they're way too old to be relevant anymore. But then I started watching this guy called Jelloapocalypse, fantastic name by the way, make these 10 words or less movie reviews, and I thought, hey, that sounds like fun. I don't think anyone's reviewed the Pokemon games like this yet. Or could it be? So special shout out to Jelloapocalypse for coming up with the idea. So a couple rules to get down. I'm only doing the main series Pokemon games, as I think doing the spin-offs would take forever and possibly deserve their own video. Ratings will be set from 10 to 1. Normally it would be 10 to -10, but there aren't really any Pokemon games that are so bad they're good. They're just all good. I will also be doing things by 0.5 generations, like Ruby and Sapphire are Gen 3, Emerald is Gen 3.5, and Fire Red and Leaf Green is Gen 3.1 because it's a first-gen remake. And of course, I can only review the games in 10 words or less, if you couldn't already tell from the title. Now, let's get started!
10-year-old beats Mop Boss and takes his money. A game based on a show based on a game. Silver and gold, silver and gold. Red's a total badass. Hashtag feminism. Admit it, you all got lost looking for the legendaries. A game Gen 1ers should love, but somehow hate. Perfectly combine the Gen 3 games in glorious fashion. The first female champion is an absolute badass. Hashtag feminism. Stunning remake of an already amazing sequel. Whoa, dude, the room feels like it's upside down. Smokes. Captivating story, great designs, and darker tones. So refreshing. And we're back. Started the most fun and accessible generation in the series.
7.8 out of 10, too much water.
There, happy now? I have never wanted a more skippable tutorial in gaming. Sun and Moon, but Ultra! So what's the difference? Ultra!
Now, I know I probably went a little fast, and you don't want to have to check through the video to see the ratings, so here are my top and bottom 5 Pokemon games. Keep in mind, making this list was one of the most difficult things I've done when reviewing. Let's get this started. Top 5, Pokemon Black and White. This beautiful title on the original DS brings us stunning graphics and a wonderful region to explore. Many criticize it for its bad Pokemon designs like Garbodor and Vanillix, but I say that the opposite is true because despite these two, this game brings us some of the most well-designed Pokemon in the history of the franchise. The biggest problem with it is that it doesn't allow you to get any older Pokemon until the post-game, giving this game a sort of egotistical feel. But the fantastic story completely overshadows this flaw as it is easily the best in the entire series. Bottom 5, Pokemon Black 2 and Pokemon White 2. Weird, right? I put this game on the bottom of the list to prove to you exactly how good Pokemon is as a whole and how close each entry on the list is to each other. I really didn't have too much of a reason to put this game here, as it still contained Black and White's great graphics and region, and even allows you to get older Pokemon almost as soon as the game starts. The biggest flaw with this game is that it couldn't fit into the big shoes of its predecessor story left behind for it, and that's literally it. Top 4, Pokemon Emerald. Easily the best 0.5 gen game in the whole series. The opportunity that Ruby and Sapphire set for it with its differing themes of land and sea was brought to its full potential with bigger challenges, a more epic story, and a familiar region that somehow still felt like new. Changes like the Battle Frontier, animated sprites, and other little details here and there were memorable and very much appreciated. Bottom 4, Pokemon Red and Blue. Despite it being the start and being revolutionary for its time, Red and Blue have a lot of problems compared to the games to follow. Absolutely broken balancing issues like the special stat, janky moves not quite doing what they're supposed to be doing, the astonishing critical hit system, and many more issues that keep this game from being the best like no one ever was. And have you ever been caught in a bind in that game? It's awful. Just don't ever do it. It's Top 3, Pokemon Heart Gold and Soul Silver. My personal favorite Pokemon game of all time. Pokemon following you connects you to your Pokemon in ways you never thought possible until later on in the series. The Pokeathon is the most fun and useful gimmick in the Pokemon game ever, and being a better version of one of the greatest sequel games in video game history makes this game one of the easiest to just gush over. Heck, you can just watch me and my girlfriend play it on this channel if you know what I'm talking about. Hashtag shameless plug. Bottom 3, Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Although above its predecessor in many aspects, this game just wasn't different enough from Pokemon Sun and Moon to feel warranted until the post-game, unlike its earlier 0.5 Gen cousins. Many people have even said it feels like it should have been DLC with the few changes they made. It had the potential to bring this generation to a whole new high, but just couldn't drag it along. Top 2, Pokemon X and Y. This is the most innovative game in Pokemon's entire history, adding in mechanics that streamlined and even revolutionized the community to a whole new level. Mega Evolution took the battling scene by storm and provided a brand new reason to get hyped about speculation. Pokemon Ami made you feel as close to, if not closer than your Pokemon than Heart Gold and Soul Silver did with Pokemon following you, and competitive battling had never been easier and more fun to accomplish. The only problem was that the campaign was a little on the easy side, but if that's the only complaint, I think you're doing alright. Bottom 2, Pokemon Sun and Moon. This game had the greatest potential out of all Pokemon games to be the best, with a multitude of fantastic ideas that could have surpassed even X and Y. However, not a lot of these ideas were executed well enough for that to be the case. Although there were some fantastic additions like regional variants, Z-moves, ride Pokemon, and a more fleshed out story, there were a lot of things that felt like downgrades. The Ultra Beasts were not given enough attention, the Island Challenge wasn't the best replacement for gyms, the story tended to drag on a bit, and the accessibility that came with X and Y had all but vanished. All of this could be forgiven if not for the absolutely grueling first hour of the game, which sums up why Pokemon players wish to have a skippable tutorial. And finally, the top best Pokemon game of all time, Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. If X and Y were number 2 for its innovation and accessibility, and Emerald was number 4 for its story and fantastic region, it only makes sense that the combined effort of these two games takes the spot at number 1. It combines just about everything good about X and Y with everything good about Emerald and adds onto it, save for its ease of gameplay and the ability to customize your character. It is the personification of why Pokemon is the titan that it is today. Heck, the entire reason that the 7.8 out of 10 meme is a thing is that the community thought the rating extremely unfair simply because there was too much water. Now that's a game that calls out to its fans. And the bottom Pokemon game of all time, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. Remember what I said about Black and White being egotistical? This game is the personification of that without even having a fantastic story to bring it back up out of the ashes. Not being allowed to access any Pokemon from 2nd and 3rd Gen until after you've seen every Pokemon from Gen 1, even if they can naturally evolve into them, is the worst feeling to realize. I actually said out loud, "What the fuck?" when I found out about it. It is the only part of any Pokemon game that actually manages to anger me beyond reason. So that's what I think of every Pokemon game. I want to be clear that every single one of these games is still something I like, play, and recommend to any fan. Even Fire Red and Leaf Green is still something I go back to every now and again. This is just my opinion on which ones are better than others. Did you agree with me? Do you think I am a complete idiot? Leave a comment down below. I hope you had a great frickin' time. Make sure to like, favorite, comment, subscribe, and ring-a-ding that little bell in the corner, and I will call you guys for the next council. Later.